The YouTube people up and ready to go. What's up, YouTube? Yeah, so there we go. Got that up and good. All right. Let's bring up the options chain. Futures right there. So I'll be going with March 14th contracts until otherwise stated, March 16th if need be. June, and I'm also doing the June contracts for futures, not March. June contracts. All right, so we got less than, 30 seconds here, 16 seconds to be exact. And I've got the three charts pulled up here, and let's see how the day opens. The big thing, the 10-year yields are spiking, and now they're up 20.93, so they are still spiking, almost hitting 21. So let's see how tech responds to that, because things are not looking good. Futures are going to start the day off with another test of right at the 4,200 level. Everything, surprisingly, on the X's is green. The top 10 here, the tech is mixed bag, green and red. Apple is getting pummeled in pre-market hours, down to 151. Microsoft is pretty much flat. Amazon is pretty much flat as well. Tesla's flat. Google, oh, they look flat, but they're down 1.83. Google is starting out with a little red candle, but they are slightly green. Facebook is starting to pop up just a touch, but everything else pretty muted in terms of their opening candle here. We bounced off S1, went right back to R1 here on the SPY. Significant buying volume on that first candle to start the day off. All right. Oh, man. Morning. How's it going? Also, be aware that the United States has shifted their time for daylight savings time, so we are now 1 hour later than usual. Obviously, other countries don't adhere to that same thing, so we adjust for those current time frames. Do I have a bias for puts or calls today? Honestly, I have no idea. I'm going to let this action shake out. And I'm going to kind of let this 4,200 level on the futures and S1 be my guide. If you notice, S1 is indicated as a strong level by the plus sign right here. If we break below S1, I do anticipate us smoking down to the mid 4100s on the futures and 419ish here on SPY. So it all depends on how this morning is going to shake out. It's kind of a muted open right now. There's not too much action. The Nasdaq is pretty flat on the open. We have this little green candle, but nothing crazy. No huge $3, $4 candles. And the VIX is still holding 31. So we've got some pushing and a pulling here. Asian markets have got absolutely destroyed over the afternoon, the evening hours, whereas the European markets are slightly green here. So I'm going to kind of let the market digest and tell me where it wants to go, and kind of maintain a nice neutral mindset here going into the start of the week. I had two profitable scalps on futures overnight, so I'm starting the week off green. It's nice to have a little bit of profits allocated here where I could start to sit on my hands and not get FOMO and let this play out. So I'm just going to let these first couple of candles shake out. Obviously, we've got a little top wick forming here and see where we're going to go from here. VIX is 31.21. 4,200 is a very considerable level. That 40, and to be precise, it's 41.98 of what I have on my personal charts. 41.98, which is just below obviously 4,200. If you could do some basic public math there. So if 41.98 gets breached, which it looks like it may actually just have done that. Nope, not yet. So 41.98 gets breached, then down we go, and that's on SPX, by the way, not futures. So we still have 10 points on 41.98. If that gets breached, then down we go. Down we go. Right off on S1 right now. There's a lot of pushing and a pulling here. A lot of pushing and a pulling to the downside here. I am short futures right now. Just entered, which means I'm playing downside positions here. Quick entry. So let's see if we could get a little shaken here. This is intended to be a quick scalp, and we'll see if we can get in a position. I haven't brought up my options trade on SPX because honestly, I'm letting this market play out and see if I can get a quick scalp here. VIX, big pop here, 31.42, and I'm watching SPXs too. SPX is now 42.07. I'm telling you, watch that 41.98 level on SPX because we could have a little downside if we break that. Yep, the premiums are pretty high. The premiums are pretty high. Still holding a short position. What I'm going to do is set a break-even stop on it and see if I can get some action down to S2, which is the Friday's lows here on SPY. What I like to do is when I enter a first position, because that first minute or so on entry is the most crucial time of the position in my opinion, because you're still figuring out, is this a correct entry? Is the action going to play out the way I intend? Are we going to break down? Are we going to go up depending on what it is? So it's very crucial. That's why I usually set a quick break-even stop just in case I'm wrong on a speculatory play. When I'm not entirely certain is when it's the only time I'll set a break-even stop loss on there. Usually, otherwise, then I won't set a break-even. But on this particular play, I will, just in case this candle smokes green and goes to R1. I break even. There's no harm, no foul. But we're getting a little bit of extension to the downside here. 41.98 on the futures. We got this little down red candle starting to fill out here. I'm going to be a little patient with this. All right, we got some red extension. There we go. Futures are now, oh, nice, 41.94 and coming down. That's what I want to see. And let's see if we can get a quick little profit off these babies. Oof, I like it. 41.98, 41.19 down to S2. So S2 is, like I said, almost exactly where Friday's low was. Top wick on the NASDAQ, big green on the VIX, and up we go. And we are falling. There's 42 that. Ooh, man, look at that. It's still going. I'm going to put in a sell order for 41.90 for at least half these futures and see if I can get filled at 41.90. Let's see. Little down, little down. Actually, I'm going to do 41.92. Let's see. All right, I took profits right there. So I closed my future shorts at 41.92 right there. So I grabbed 20 ES points right there. Bam. And look at that big green candle. Big green candle. Man, that was a good timing. Oof. Here, I'll post this right here. I'll post that. No when plays. So now we're going to see where this comes out. We came on down, almost down to S2, which was Friday's lows, and we have a little bounce right off of it. Respected that. Respected that. What is this blasphemy trading futures? Well, I'm trading everything. If you saw on Friday, I traded everything because I like to trade a balance between futures and options. And if you can learn to do both, man, you could really learn to balance one position or another, especially when you're wrong. And that's the huge benefit of trading futures, in my opinion. Yeah, they're great when you're right. You can make some decent money. But when you're wrong, you could really use the other side of the other action to hedge your losses. For example, on Friday, obviously we know like the market opened and we dropped 120 points straight down with no real bull bounce at all. And I was long futures until about 10:30 because I was expecting a bounce, and obviously that never came. So I started playing puts. So I switched over from my futures account to my brokerage account. I started playing puts, and I was able to offset my losses with puts. So it allows you to play both sides of the coin, both the futures and the options, which is really cool. Oh, man, should have held. Look at that. Should have held. That's okay. All right, I'm going to bring up, ooh, right through there. Bam. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Right through S2. Right through S2. Let's see what's going to happen right there. So everyone can hear me right? Someone's saying they can't really hear me all that well. Hey, $100 is $100, doctor. Well done. Well done. VIX still 31.69, and now we're just bouncing off S2 again. NASDAQ still holding 13,228. Here's that, and let's see. 4220 calls is what I'm looking at, and 4180 puts for SPX. 4180, 4220. Ooh, bread smash. Look at that. Hulk smash. So to start very much selling action here. Looking quite bearish to open the day off. Right meow. This candle figured out where we're going to go. We got some green red. The selling action on the NASDAQ is picking up, and the VIX is still holding this elevated level. So VIX or SPX is at that 41.98 level. Watch the SPX at this level right here is incredibly, incredibly important. Now that big bounce right there, that's a dollar bounce right there. Very important for the SPY to hold that level. Otherwise, we are absolutely going to get smoked in the face. There we go. Big buy up off that level. Very important. I wouldn't say this is slow. I mean, this is pretty significant movement. We just moved off of 42.30 to 49.419. That's a $3 move. Yeah, so we did. I mean, we did have some flatter pre-market, but I mean, we just completely sold off there. Now even this green candle's having trouble holding. So. Not sure where this is going to go here. The next play is going to be off of this S2 level. We'll see if this continues. This little green candle is having trouble holding, and the NASDAQ is completely wicked. So, not taking another play here until I see another action. I had a nice little 20-point move. I got captured 20 points on ES, which is a nice little way to start the morning off. But until then, I'm just going to see how it responds to this bottom level. Very important level to be at right here. Below that is 4160s. 4160. I'll get the exact number, but 4160s. Do I have a daily goal? A 20-point move in 2 contracts is hefty. No, it's 20 points total, so it was like a little over 10 points for 2 contracts. But no. I try not to set dollar goals on daily because it makes me an emotional trader when I do that. Because if I don't hit my goal or if I blow past my goal, it's like I'm over trading or I'm under trading or I'm revenge trading. So I tried to set, me personally, I'm very good at knowing when I'm forcing trades. If I start to say, hey, I'm kind of like trying to squeeze a trade in where it doesn't need to be, I'm good at shutting that down. So I just like to watch the charts and do my system. And if as long as there's chart setups, if the market conditions are such where I trade 30 times a day, then I will. If I'm forcing trades, then I won't touch anything. Big green buy up on some calls here, or on some greens right up to S1. I've got 4220 calls up for the SPX. Big smoke show green candles all the way back up. And that's right there is why I was watching that candle. Look, let's bring up SPX. Where did it bounce off of? Where was that low candle? Right there. 41, how low did it get? 41.94 is what it got on SPX. So right off that 41.98 level, just a little bit below it, and huge green buy up right off of it, right back to R1, all the way up. That was right there, a $2 green move. So volatility is still very much here. $2 move down, $2 move back up immediately, and now we're just hovering right between R1 and S1. And VIX came off a little bit down to 31.16. How do you determine those levels? I calculate those based on price action volume, open interest, block orders, and then of course we got spot gamma that I throw in some data as well. But yeah, a lot of different data points correlate to these levels. Why is the bid ask so large on SPY? I'd have to take a look. Let's see. Something's weird going on with them. The bid is higher than the ask, so something's going on with the options chain right now for SPY. Yeah, it's with E-Trade as well, not just IBKR, but the ask is bigger than the bid. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let's double check that on SPX too. No, SPX is fine. It seems to be just SPY. But things are normal looking on SPX. The bid and ask is fine. 20 cents off, 10 cents off, which is fine for SPX. Yep, so be aware if you are taking some options on SPY, it looks like there's some issues with the exchange, so just caution. Use caution. All right, just looking through here, saw a headline. Looks like Ukraine's going to speak with U.S. Congress virtually this week. And we're just holding right between S1 and R1 right now, right back. So $2 down, $2 up, and now we're sideways. We got a little green pop in here. If Nasdaq eats all the way back up, SPY looks like, or SPY will bounce over R1 to R2, maybe to pre-market highs of R3 if this Nasdaq continues. So I've got calls pulled up 42. I'm going to switch to 4230s now on SPX March 14th because if Nasdaq starts eating this up, we might have some temporary bullishness here. But now we're just bouncing off R1. Yes, March 14th. Do you like a PCS play here? Negative. I mean, if you're talking about some longer term stuff, yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely. But for a zero, my inkling now is that we're going to go lower eventually. Right now, we might have some temporary bullishness here, but I'm very cautious to play any 0DT spreads just yet. I'm going to hold off until at least we have some morning time built in, and then we'll go into some I'll go into some zeros potentially. I personally don't play 2DTEs. I usually play zeros or weeklies. Now I guess I will play 2DTEs if I'm playing if it's on Wednesday and I'm tranching for Friday. That's two. But that's it. I usually play zeros or I'll tranche in for Friday expirations. That's it. Nice and simple. Yeah, the bid ask is backwards for SPY on everything, not just calls. Still holding under R1 here. I'm going to still hold 4220 order form up and ready. If you trade, or I'm sorry, 4230s. If you're trading SPY, you can do 423s if you can get a good fill. But obviously we have issues right now. VIX is still holding 3122. So I captured almost that entire downward move. I haven't played the upward move yet. Now I'm waiting. So I'm sure it looks like some other people did the opposite. They didn't touch the bottom, but they played the upside. Let's see where we go from here. Oh, man. All right. Let's take a look over at the Euro market here. They're trading 71.71. They've been pretty flat here for about 2 hours or so, back and forth in this little range after a little bit of volatility this early this morning when they opened. IBCR seems fine. Good, good, good. Yeah, it feels like we do want to pop above R1 here. That's why I've got calls and up. I'm not sure where we're going to go from here. I'm watching the NASDAQ. I want to take over a look at XLF, see how they're doing. XLF has got a big significant green there with the bonds coming off all pre-market. They came off and they're still hovering this bottom area. And then TNX, the 10-year rates are just absolutely sky high, 2.01. Highest they've been since, June of 2019? So that's the highest they've been in nearly 3 years prior to Corona. So we're just kind of hanging out right here. We're pegged. What are the three tickers here? You see the watermarks right there. SPY, NASDAQ, VIX. Does the VIX going up mean that the market is bearish? Saw something strange today. The exact opposite happened. There was a little bit of a discrepancy or a difference in what we usually expect from the VIX last week. If you saw the Twitter post I made on Saturday, that the VIX and the SPX trended down all last week, Monday through Friday. VIX finished down, SPX finished down, which is not what we normally see. So people are asking, what does that mean? There's a couple of different things here. One is that the VIX has been maintaining such a high level for so long, 35 plus. I think it hung out at 37 for a while last week, and the VIX had to come off. The VIX was at the point it was either going to go to 45, and then SPX was going to smoke, or VIX is going to come off, and that's precisely what we did. We didn't crash, like the VIX didn't absolutely just tank, but it kind of trickled down all week long from Monday through Friday. It just trended downwards, and I think it came off 14% last week, whereas the NASDAQ, the futures were off nearly 3% last week. So, and I think it's just that volatility coming off a little bit, just adjusting from that high, with a little bit of pops in between, but obviously it was lower highs. So I didn't see anything too crazy. I didn't see anything that really really made me weary. Because unless I see a bigger move on that VIX. If I saw the VIX smoke down in the 20s, then that's something else. But we'll see how this today starts to adjusting that data point. Right now, the VIX is still coming off a little bit, top wicks. I'm going to slip over to the 5-minute chart. Still holding sideways here. Wick City on the 5-minute chart for the NASDAQ. You see that. And here we go. SPY is testing R1 again. Big wick on the 15-minute for SPY, down and up. And then the 30-minute, which should be pretty close to forming a full candle right now, is just about the same. Top wick city here on SPY. And now we are just pegged right in between S1 and R1, just like we were all pre-market long. Still have 4230 calls up, just in case we go. If we start breaking down below S1, I'll come down. Have you ever seen the bid higher than the ask? No, that's just there's something going on with the exchange. That's what it is. That's not normal behavior. That's just there's something going on. The bid cannot be higher than the ask by definition. So it's just right now there's an issue with the exchange. Yep. Tight action. Look at that. That's crazy. Big downside, big upside, and bam, pegged. Pegged. I need to turn on this stuff here. Little down action. All right. Unfortunately, that's all we can do. You can either play SPX or you have to wait. There's nothing we can do about the exchange being broken. Little top wick, red candle. No, they don't happen very often. Once every quarter we have some kind of issue. They tend to happen in high volatile conditions because there's so much volume, there's so much action, I would guess, on the exchange, but it doesn't happen all that often. So down to S1, just hanging out. Just hanging out. Uh, 4190. 4190 will be my put on SPX if I were to take it. The oil futures down is bullish for the rest of the market. Well, the problem is, we have to realize that tech is getting destroyed right now. There's a lot of selling in tech, so it's not. Yeah, if under all the other conditions, if oil futures are going down a lot, yeah, that would be a little bullish. But unfortunately, there's a lot that's heavy at the moment. So yeah, the bounds of S1 and R1. Look at that big green buy up all the way back up. So the S1 R1 is still playing crucial. I won't really take a play until we break out the bounds of either one of these. We've got 5 minutes now until the range is set here, and let's see if we're going to make a move off of it. I'm stuck in my SPY puts. Hopefully, we'll get some down action, and you can. That's a good thing. Hopefully. Somebody said the E-Trade options chain is fixed. Let's go take a look. See if I can correlate that. SPY. Yeah, SPY does appear to be fixed on E-Trade at least. Nice red candles here. Like I said, I'm not looking to play much of anything unless we break down below here. Now I'm going to pull up 4190 puts and see if we can get some downward action. Nasdaq's forming lows. Bottom wicks on the VIX. I'm going to switch to the 15-minute. Nice healthy bottom wick on the VIX here. Look at the bottom wicks forming. And these bottom wicks here as well. Let's go to the 30. Right on top of S1. So would you sell a 4230 call in the expectation to buy it back when it drops? I wouldn't sell any 4230 calls. That's way too close. Yeah, E-Trade looks to be fixed, corrected. So for the time being, I've got 4190 puts up. That'll be 419 on SPY just in case we break down, but I don't really have any clear direction just yet. I don't have an edge just yet. I'll see if we can break down. But look at that. Buy up, immediate. I mean, the volatility is insane. 250 all the way up. That's $1 just freaking bottom wick right there. To me, right now, there's no edge. I'm not playing anything. All I'm sitting there doing is flipping back and forth. Look at this. Big buy up between calls and puts. Now going to 4220 calls. 4230, I'm sorry. If it goes above R1. Look at that candle. Holy crap. Smooth little $1.30 wick up right there. I'm not long anything right now. I have no positions right now. Nothing. Man, look at that bullish candle. Holy crap. Well, I'm not taking the trade either, George. This is chop. There's no edge to this. Nobody should be trading this action right here. There's no edge to this. It's just chopping back and forth between R1 and S1. Crazy $1.50 wick ups. You should not be trading this action. But right now we are stuck like glued at the top of this range. Keeps bouncing up. VIX just came off hard. Let's take a look at UK. How they doing? Still chopping sideways. Nice red off that top. Just chopping, 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 chopping. SPY puts a big screw up. Yep. Well, yeah, unfortunately I can't do anything about that, but yeah, it's that broker stuff for you, man. Sucks. It sucks. No positions yet. Looking at, I've got 3 on the day, including the 2 pre-market stuff. And that 1 scalp there at the morning, but no open positions currently. Not taking any spreads yet until I make sure we're not going to blast to 4,300 or fall to 4,100. We've got some red off the top, coming all the way back down. They are ridiculous candles. They are that. How's y'all weather in your neck of the woods? After Saturday it reaching 16 degrees, today it's supposed to be 61 and sunny. So even the weather doesn't know what it wants to do. Bullish and bearish on some warm weather here. Low of 29 over the weekend, high of 83 today. That's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't have any plants planted yet. I've got my garden. I'm planting my garden, not planting. And I'll be looking to plant that next month. In our neck of the woods, you can't really plant until about last week of April. Otherwise, you face frost. Even then, is a little early. I'm from Boston. The weather's always like that. Yeah. Terrible. I'm ready for some nice warm weather, that's for sure. All right, there's 10:05. Where are we going to go? Stuck to the top of the range, just in between R1 and S1 still. We got a lot of shaking and baking. Got a lot of shaking and a lot of bacon. It's funny because on Saturday we had 3 inches of snow on the ground, and then yesterday my neighbor was mowing his grass. It was ridiculous. I was like, what kind of Truman Show crap is this? North Dakota. Ah. There's a reason why they call it Minot Air Force Base. Why not Minot? I've been to Minot Air Force Base. Uh, Sadly to say, I wish to never go there again. All right, still holding out R1 and S1. I'm going to give it along the old Stone Cold Stunner. And that's the bottom line. No additional plays. All right, so flip back over to calls. All I'm sitting here doing is flipping the little toggle switch from puts to calls. It's just to make sure to see if we get a breakout at the top or breakdown under S1. NASDAQ is kind of creeping up here. VIX is coming off. I'll be watching the VIX to break down under this little 3090 level. Yeah, I was watching Elon's tweets. He's a little out there. So. All right, let's do 4230 calls, March 14th. We'll see if we can pop up new highs on SPY for the trading session, and off we go. Off we go. Now $3 higher than we were in that little opening session, and see how far we're going to go. VIX new lows. Looks like we're going up. No positions, no positions. Got it to R1. Don't trust this candle at all. We'll see how this goes. We're now back to the pre-market highs and is holding R1 here. VIX is still coming off here though. I don't see any other updates to any other headlines. Looks like we're just topping up and down. Not much going on. Oil futures still losing. U.S. crude oil is down $8 a barrel. China claims that not one single force in the world could stop it from taking Taiwan. That is not a good statement for them to say. China sends 13 jets towards the inland, which I know that was a headline that came across last night, but I didn't see that statement before. That is not a good statement for them to put out. I'm actually surprised we're even remotely green right now. Big green candles. I'm double checking where that's coming from because that was posted on Zero Hedge's Twitter feed, but I know he posts some biased stuff, so I'm looking to see if I can find that elsewhere before I start posting about that. That's the nail in the proverbial coffin, if that happens. Hey, big green here. Touching R2. Let's see. TNX 10-year rate's now 2106. 2106, still climbing. Tech has not responded to it. In fact, we've just got some green action. Now coming up to R2. Let's see. Any nation supporting Taiwan will suffer the worst consequences. Yeah, but China and Russia, that's two different conversations. China and Russia do not have the same military. China is actually a force to be reckoned with. Russia is not. The only reason why people even give any kind of stone's throw to Russia is because he does have a nuclear arsenal. But Russia is slightly different force than Russia or China. All right, so futures bouncing hard off those lows, 41.85, and now they're just rocketing up. Now 42.26 and climbing. NASDAQ coming up, VIX 30.63 after punching up to upper 31s. Next few candles should be telling. Now we're above the AM range. We're popping up. R3 is about the pre-market high for SPY, and which correlates to Friday's afternoon low. Looking around, looking around, looking around. Let's see how the top 10 are responding. Apple went still red, but trying to go green. Microsoft, their charts are about the same, but Microsoft is higher. Amazon's flat after having a little green sold off. Tesla's trying to go green. Tesla was down considerably to 757. Now they're 40 points higher. Google's climbing up. Facebook up to the top. So a lot of the tech stocks appear to have the same price action. Nvidia climbing up the top, 221, and they have broken green. So SPY almost $4, right now $4 off of that little low sell-off there, all the way up. All right, little top wick here, R2. Red candles, red candles. Alrighty, alrighty. So, we've got this little bull action here. Now I've got some top wicks right at R2, and VIX is coming down to 3070. I'm just to the point here where I'm going to start throwing down some spreads. How high can I go? That's the name of the game. How high can I go? Right now, 42.95 is pretty much 42.90s are about the highest I can get for some decent credit. How low can I go? 42. I don't like that. So it's wedging to that date. It absolutely is wedging to that date. We have a like a dead flat horizontal wedge going on into FOMC. I mean, there's a lot of charged headlines this week, so the volatility may very well kind of peanut butter spread flatten until that release. But regardless, when that release does happen, I think we're going to have a significant move one way or the other because we are tightly coiled. Last week was an absolute chop fest in a very large range. Just because it's a large range doesn't mean it's not chop. It's still very much chop. It's just to a high degree. What are your thoughts on the FOMC meeting? Do you think the Fed will raise rates? Well, we're expecting that 25 coming up here, so that's what they've kind of stated on there. And the big thing is like, will they back off anything based on the craziness in the market with Russia? And they said no, we just got to do what we got to do. So obviously, there's always going to be volatility surrounding. It always is. I'm very curious to see how the action is going to play out, and I'll be playing accordingly. Right now, I don't see very much that's tradable. I've got my one play in, but that's about it. We do have a little bullishness coming up to R2, but nothing crazy. And the Nasdaq is still within the bounds of its pre-market little pop there. Yep, yep. I hope we don't chop sideways until FOMC. If they do, then I will start playing a little more spreads that are way far out, and we'll see what we can do for Friday. Let me take a look at Friday plays. Be aware if you are on E-Trade, the Friday expirations don't look normal. The same mid-month expiration stuff. It's labeled as March 22nd, which stands for March 2022, but they are in fact the March 18th contracts. VIX is forming new lows here, but they do have some bottom wicks, and we're just kind of holding R2. That's it. And we do a little digging in here, see if we could set us up for some different plays. Oof, more green. I like that. Boom. Okay. Hey, big green. Filled. Excellent. All right. So if you are tier 2, I'm about to post a play here in the data channel. Boom. Posted. You said it's not tradable because VIX downtrend is not trustworthy. It's a little. We keep having this sideways chop, little pop, sideways chop, little pop. There's a lot of wicks left and right, and then we get movement, which is a little hard to read. And VIX is coming off here, so. But look at that. I mean, we try to play upside, think it's going to go, and look at that downward wicking candle there on the Nasdaq and the SPY. I don't see crazy bullishness across the board. Things are starting to turn a little green here, but it's not like raging green. And we're kind of fizzling here. So to me, I'm just kind of sitting on my hands. I've already got 3 winning plays on the day, including the 2 pre-market here. I just entered a 4th for the tier 2 theta players. So take a look at that. If you have any questions about that, please post it in the tier 2 room. Yeah, but right now I'm just kind of seeing where we go. Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate that. Open day 42.95 up here at 70 cents. Okay. Is that a 0D? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. OM want to try tier 4, but I don't want Patreon to double charge since it's mid-month. Should I wait till April? If you do sign up for tier 4, you will get charged the full 125. It'll be different. So if you're tier 1, for example, they'll charge you $115 extra because tier 1 is $10. They'll charge you the difference. But unfortunately, if you sign up now, you will be charged again on April 1st. So that is something to be aware of. That's something that unfortunately is out of my control. That was fun. Already down 80% on puts, blown up my account. Was that because of the brokerage thing? If you're not getting pigged when I tag theta, please go down into opt-in roles and sign up. I'll put it in the trading room. And that also goes for if you want to get pinged for the futures roles. And oh no, that's not in theta. I don't wonder why. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll ping everybody else too. Yeah. Here, let's put it here. Right there. Okay. Now it's posted. Can you reach out to you if you do get double charged? I got charged on February 28th and then March 1st for tier 4. Yeah, see that was the issue because you signed up before March 1st, so Patreon did double charge you. They do all their billing at every single March 1st. So if you sign up, unfortunately, that is that. They don't do proration, which is unfortunate. A firm, that's correct. Sample stuff, that's correct. That's a good point. I'm sorry, 11:30. Not it was no. Wait a second. Let me do my time right. 10:30. Yeah, cause I have to. I'm in Central Time, so yeah, that is correct. 12:30 Eastern. Haven't traded in a few days. You mentioned there were going to be some tier changes in the following days. Have you mentioned those changes yet? Negative. I will announce them this week. I wanted to make sure I finalize details. So, yeah, there are going to be some changes to the way we set up the tiers. In fact, in the same minute, let me. Do I do a 1-1 on my CCS? For my weekly stuff, yeah, I'm doing 1-1s, and I tranche in. And obviously, I am playing even further outside of what we talk about in the PVI and Tier 4 because I want to make sure I'm very, very safe. I am not in the mood to clinch, so I am being even more conservative. I hope you all see how important it is to be conservative in a week like this. And the reason why I'm trying to do that is because I want to give me plenty of time to hedge. I'm starting to refine my hedging capabilities quite a bit, and the further out you play, and look, I'm not looking to get a bunch of credit on spreads. I'm looking to just augment my trading income. So I want to give myself plenty of space to hedge and still maintain a profitable position. Yeah, 12:30 Eastern Time is now European close. If you are in Tier 4, notice I did create the Tier 4 general chat room just so we can kind of filter out the chatter and stuff like that, so we can maintain a high quality, refined data in the normal Tier 4 channel. All right, so top wick on that big push up, and now we're coming back down to the top of the range, R1. I'll be a yellow name in April then. Nice, Mike. Look forward to having you. Thoughts on opening up a voice chat so we can communicate with each other about trading. We tried that back in the summer, and it didn't work out so well. It got to be a giant Charlie Foxtrot. Because it's hard to moderate voice chat. So when we let everybody get in there and talking, it starts like people talking over each other. There's a lot of profanity. There's a lot of chatter about nonsense. So it's like, it's just not a good idea. I get you. I get it. If we could, if it was something that could be maintained, obviously I think it's a great idea. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. All right, red candles. NASDAQ coming down. NASDAQ is coming off hard. Still no place except for the theta. All right, now let's look at downside. I don't want to add, right now I'm going to throw in some high, like a way up CCSs for Friday, which I just did. I may take another one here. No, I'll tranche in. So, you know, my thesis on the weekly PVI trades for me is to take smaller positions. I want to leg into these positions. So take smaller positions on Monday and then start to build in a tranche in throughout the week. That way I could stiff arm the market. That's my goal, is ebb and flow with the market fluctuations. So if we have a big spike, and then tomorrow I'll look at tranching it for Friday way even higher on CCS. So just keep on going up. Just keep nice 200 point, 300 point gap between me and the price, so I can maintain profitability going into Friday and then start hedging appropriately. Nice and easy. I'm not looking to hit it out of the park with spreads. I'm looking to augment my income. What do you think it seems like for today, range versus trend? Well, right now we're looking like a range. I'm sorry, I just went back and forth. Range. Obviously, we're bouncing off the top of the range here. We'll see how the next few candles start to sort out. We have put in new highs here. We still have, what, an hour until the range is set. I'm sorry, the year close. For your theta play, curious about why 30 points instead of 50. 50 is too wide. 52 wide. In the event that let's say JPAL comes out and placates the market to max degree and we smoke upwards. 50 is way too wide. It's hard to defend a 50 wide. The drawdowns on 50 are enormous compared to a 30. And even 30 is a little wider than what I normally go. Usually I do 20, 25. But 30's, that 50 is way too wide. You can't. It's hard to defend a 50 wide. So, and then if you're talking about 100, people play even beyond that, which is crazy. So keep them close. Keep them close. It's not worth it. Yeah, it's nicer to get that fat premium when you play 50 wide, 60 wide, all that other wide crap. But you have to think about the downside. What happens if you get ran on? It's hard to defend. Is the hedging with futures out yet? It'll be released probably this evening. The lowest number is the sell, the highest number is the buy. The reason why is because you want to sell the higher premium and buy the lower premium, which is further out. Because obviously the premium that's further out of the money is going to be less expensive. So you want to get that credit, so you sell the closer position. That's why I run 10 wide right now with VIX so high. There you go. There you go. 10 years up 5%. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. 50 wide and a 7 DTE and 30 wide. No, I don't do 50 wides. I don't do 50 wides on anything. It's too much risk. I stick to 30 to 25 and 30 is my most common spreads. 25 wide or 30 wide. Will you play a position if this stays in range? Yeah, I mean I'll play a position if I see something. Right now we're just chopping. There's no real edge. That's why I'm just kind of planning my spread strategy right now, because I don't see an edge for some scalping. Um, which, by the way, the new tiers coming up here. I kind of squirreled off my thought there. Somebody asked about the changes. So yeah, we are going to be doing some reorganizing coming up here for April 1st and adding some features. Mainly because we're going to kind of provide our goal is to provide a better product always. We're always striving to be better, me and Vet. So we're constantly putting our heads together, what better value we can do there. I feel like I've with the plays that we've kind of gravitated towards have been more scalps, and it's not sustainable for you all to learn, because scalps are great. I do well with them, but unfortunately, if I'm trying to teach you all to read charts and stuff, scalping is great, but not everyone can sit there and have the time to sit there and look at a scalp all day. So we're gonna try to bring in some longer time frame stuff, try to bring in more value in chart reading into longer term setups, fewer plays on sometimes. Like if you are, for example, if you've got a full-time job, you can't sit here in front of a chart. We can do some technical analysis to figure out, yeah, you can only take 1 or 2 plays a week, but the very strategic entry and where we expect the price action to go on other stocks, like maybe like the top 10. We'll bring in the top 10 into our cross check. So we're going to bring in some educational material for both tier 4 and tier 1 in terms of how to set up in the channel. Basically what like a welcome guide for the entire server as well, on terminology, acronyms, setups, etc., etc. The community has grown so fast in the past year that I've been playing catch up. It's just like every day it grows bigger and bigger and bigger, and here I am. It's like, holy crap, I have to put everything together. So now we're to the point here where I could bring on help with the moderators. Q, you're going to see Q and Funky take Q and Howard take a larger role in the server. You're going to see my wife take a larger role in the server. Vet's going to be more interactive across all the channels. So it's going to be a lot of value add. It's going to be a lot of value add here coming up in April. Not yet. I think 2 weeks is going to be our anniversary. Bullish action still maintaining. VIX is still forming new lows, and SPY is still on the climb from 419.10 to 423.10. $4 move. That's 40 points on SPX. Russia's going to halt wheat, corn, rye, barley exports March 15th. Another top wick. It keeps trying to pop through that level, but it keeps getting top wicked. Time for OM to get a protein shake. I think you might be right. My legs are smoked, by the way. I've been hobbling around for 2 days now. I did a big leg workout on Saturday. And man, I don't know if Vet's listening, by the way, but my knee is still a little jacked up from that fire sale I took, or yard sale I took on the Blue Slopes in Vail. When are you going to be interviewed for the next Market Wizards book? I don't think he wants anything to do with me. The dudes in that book, man, are billions with a B. So. No, I was talking about my legs being smoked, and then my knee still hurting from me eating it in front of everybody on the Blue Slope. No bueno. Yeah, it's alright. Just a little sore. I was still able to do some squats, though. I'm more upset about my GoPro. Alright, so we're still hanging out here, R2. No additional plays just yet. We're kind of waiting for a move. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Anybody have the SPY equivalent? Yeah, just do the conversion. It should be fine. Or look at appropriate deltas. Alright, big green candles here. Yeah, that one flipped red. So, looking a little, I don't know. It looks a little weak here. It definitely doesn't want to pop above this level, just under R2. What's the reason you switched to June contract and futures? Honestly, for convenience for you all. I know TradingView. I use the exclamation mark ticker, which all that does is bring up the most recent contract, and they already switched to June. So I just went ahead and switched to June for you all. I love you all, Spy Guy. Love you all. Can you talk about your vertical spread strategies? Yeah, yeah. So when I'm playing verts like that, or spreads, call credit spread PCSs, and they're most commonly they are referred to as verticals for those who don't know. When I am playing spreads, like I said, I am not looking to hit home runs. I am looking for my spreads to add or augment my day trading. It's just a great way to take advantage of price action where you don't have to be so right. You can be less right, and you can take advantage of flat action. So when I'm playing spreads, I look for usually anywhere between $1, $1.50 credit. I'm not looking for $3, $2, $3, $4 credits. If I can get that far enough out, and I have a reasonable high confidence that it's not going to breach that high, then I'll play $2 credits, $2.50. But most of the time, I'm looking for anywhere between $1, $1.50 credit, and that keeps me nice and safe. It plays far out, especially with the volatility this high. I can usually go 200, 220 points out and maintain that premium. PCSs, CCSs. I don't like to buy iron condors all at once. I like to leg into them. I'll throw in the CCS, and then once I see the action, I'll throw in some PCSs. And like I said, I like to stiff arm the market. If the market moves against me, I'll open up an additional position even further out. And I'd like to just play hopscotch and further and further and further out to be safe. Because what I like to see is as I'm trading Monday through Friday in my day trades, when I take losses, when I take wins, I've got my daily P&L. I'm tracking my logs. I'm tracking my P&L. I like to just see that my spreads just kind of eat away through the week and make me more and more and more profitable. Or if I'm having a losing week on my day trading, it kind of eats into my losses. That's the whole point. And I have two different hats. I've got my day trading hat and I've got my spreads hat, and I'll take them on and off. And I'd like to let my spreads just offset losses or increase my profits. So it's a very safe way for me to play. They're not for me. They're not to take risk on, especially in these market conditions. I play way far out. Like this morning, I told you I was looking for a 0 DT position. I didn't see any credit that I wanted that was within reach, because the closest I could get to maintain $1 credit was like 41.20. I'm sorry, like 42.90, which if we do start to run is too close. It's only 60 points out. In this environment, 60 points is not that much. And then on the downside, 41.40. And if SPX broke through 4200, 41.60 would come very quickly, and that puts me way too close to premium. Do you hedge your spreads with ES? I hedge with both. Most of the time I'll throw in one ES, but I have been known to do with MES as well. And he does it. I do agree with that wholeheartedly. To hedge your positions with MES and your account with ES, because most of the people don't fully appreciate the drawdown you can face with futures, which I talk about that in the video that's about to be released. Because futures are heavily leveraged. And what does that mean in a nutshell? It means you could trade with money you don't have. And if you trade with money you don't have and you lose that money, you will have to come up with that money to give back to your broker. Now, most of the time, your brokers will force close a position before you go debit. They won't let you debit your account. But still, it'll wipe you out if you let a loss on a futures run, or if you hedge at the wrong time. If you hedge at the wrong time, you could face a double loss scenario where you're losing on your spreads and you're losing on your hedge, which is no fun for everybody. And then, of course, you got the other way around where you make a bunch of money on your hedge and you make a bunch of money on your original position, and that's great for everybody. Yeah, by the way, I had a great conversation with Bookmap on Friday. And he is interested in joining up with the community so we can offer some Bookmap services to the community. And I'm testing out the software now. He gave me all the software, and I'm looking through it. I'm testing it this week. And once I'm familiar with it and I feel it is a value add, then if that's something I want to pursue, then I'll team up with them, and we'll have some great stuff for Bookmap in the community. So far, I love it. I love the idea of monitoring liquidity live. A live feed of liquidity is fantastic. I think, you know me, I'm a volume-based trader, so you've got the volume behind the scenes. If I could monitor these levels, that ties in perfectly. So just be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be back testing it this week, and then if that does tie into place, I'm going to probably start a Bookmap only channel where we just post Bookmap data for the community. I'm not sure. We haven't discussed those details. He said he wanted to make sure that I was up to speed first before we just discuss details. Sorry, my daughter just brought me my protein shake. She's home from school. It's spring break, by the way. Delicious. They have spot gamma also. Yes, they do. They do have spot gamma. The hero indicator. Good stuff. Affirm, Mohammed. Affirm. I am still using spot gamma. Sorry about that. Apparently I didn't mute my microphone when I was slurping away. My bad. This thing is still grinding higher and higher, and I think that is new highs again. Nope, almost. Nope, now it's new highs, just blasting upward off of lows. So this thing is still getting very bullish here. Big green candle flying up here with the NASDAQ going higher. XLF is absolutely beast mode right now. Financial sector is absolutely raging, which is throwing this bullishness in here. And I think I'm about ready to start throwing in some bullish positions because this thing is just, look at this, just going. Absolutely just going. Futures are now almost 50 points higher off of lows. So just 50 points like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. All right. So now we're to R3. We're through S1, R1, climbing up. We are now $5 higher than where we were this morning. 50 points on the futures, and back to the pre-market or the PM range from Friday. For sure. Yeah, so far with what I see, I like Bookmap from what I'm seeing so far. So I'm going to continue to dig in. I'll let you know what I find. Yeah, so keep an eye on XLF. They are absolutely going through the roof right now. They're up 2.5% to 37. XLV is up. K is up. Everything is looking incredibly bullish. Look at XLP just straight climbing. All the X's are incredibly green except for energy. So the bullishness is definitely taken over. VIX has dropped hard from 3170 to 3019. I'm looking to become a profitable day trader on a consistent basis. I've been unemployed for 2 months, but okay. Nice. Which membership is best for me? It all depends what you're looking to do. Obviously, we've got tier 1 and 2, which tier 1 goes over all the system in terms of trading options. Tier 2 is riding premium, and then of course tier 4 is learning from vet, where you're learning market calls, you're learning particular levels, time frames, how to write spreads, how to play his particular system, which is 35 plus years in the making. So it all depends on the investment you want to partake, the knowledge you want to learn, and how profitable you want to be in the long term. Depending on how many assets you have, Tier 4 is a fantastic way to go if you want to learn on how to generate income on a consistent basis. Very welcome, Joe. Thanks for being here. All right. Pre-market highs. That's where we are with SPY. So it looks like barrels of oil are back below 100 bucks a barrel, off from 135. It appears to be really the only thing I'm seeing to really drive this kind of crazy up bullish action here. So this is the SPY action. All reds are bought up. We just keep going higher and higher and higher. Above here, we could retake this level here, R4. It seems to be a high probable area to gravitate to if we come up through here, which is another $1.50 from here. Yep, up we go. New highs. Here we go. Up and up and up and up. This appears to be the opposite of Friday. On Friday, we had this slow grind down day where it just kept going lower and lower, and right when everyone said it couldn't go lower, it just kept on going. And that appears what we have today, except bullishness. We had this little dip, and then off to the races, and up we go. What's the GEX saying? Interesting. A lot of upward resistance there. Oh, it definitely is. Sure. Tom Brady announced he's unretiring. Yep. Yep. European markets is absolutely beast mode right now. They're just going up and up and up. Well, that's the thing. Is that people are constantly trying to hit a moving target, and that's the difficulty of this market. We don't have, we're having trend day after trend day after trend day, but they are inverse of each other. Friday, trend down. Today, trend up. The day before that, trend down. It's just reverse, back and forth, back and forth. There is no go up and up and up like we had the past 2 years. Or not? Are we not falling? We're not having down day after down day. We're just having crazy 120 move down, crazy 100-point move up, crazy 70-point move down. It's just over and over and over, and people are feeling the effects of it. Where it's like trying to hit a moving target constantly, and that's why I say you got to play small, quick ins and outs. Is that a Nirvana avatar with Simpsons? All right. Well, I'm going to give this a few more minutes and call that a morning. We've kind of grinded up higher and higher. We have a big pop sideways, big pop sideways, big pop sideways, and we're just now hovering here just in R3. Right at where SPY was pre-market. And 43.24 here, or 42.34 on the futures. Yeah, I am. If this starts to get bought up here, then we'll just don't fight it, play calls, and go up. That's all we do. That's all we can do. So I'll be looking at 42.60 calls on SPX if it does continue to go. Why is VWAP considered to be so important? That's probably one of the most commonly used line indicators on the charts. Everyone uses that. Like, in fact, when you start learning how to trade, one of the first things you learn or hear about is VWAP. I would be willing to guess 90% of traders have VWAP on their charts. So it's one of those things, it's human nature. It works because it's a socially accepted indicator, and it works. Not to mention, it is a volume weighted average price. So it's the averaging of all the pricing plotted on a visual representation on the charts. So it's actually a pretty good indicator to monitor because it's the average pricing of the market. It serves as a magnet, mid-price of the market. So it is something good to monitor. Which of the volume profile indicators do you use the most? I mean, there's only one volume profile indicator for me. I just use that one. That goes into my pre-market analysis and forming my charts. And then, of course, I monitor the POC. It depends what time frame I'm doing my analysis on. When I'm doing long-term stuff and I really want to correlate where a good resistance or support is, I'll monitor on the yearly or the daily, and then down to the weekly and the monthly. And then, of course, when I'm looking at my daily stuff, then I'll look at the 3-minute, 5-minute, 6 or 15-minute. It's a great poster. It's a great poster. That's the thing. I think everybody would enjoy. I mean, think about out, and that's a thing. It's a funny topic to talk about because, and we're like $200 a day, 50K a year. If I were to walk up to you, obviously if you're dealing with millions, you wouldn't agree with this. But if I walk up to you and say, "Hey, I'll give you $50,000 this year," would you be over the moon ecstatic, or would you be like, I don't, I think everybody, unless you're dealing with a considerable amount of money, $50,000 would be amazing. But yet, when we talk about $200 a day, everyone's like, "Meh, that's terrible." If I did $200 a day, that would be awful. I would be not a good trader. So it's just funny. It's just funny how we kind of change the way we think when we're dealing with trading because we need the six figures. We need the $1 million wins. Taxes. All right, so do $220 a day, jabroni. All right, so a little selling here on the Nasdaq. Red action off R3. Uh-oh, we got a fake one in here. Hold on a second. Now they're starting to talk about new stuff. Hold on. I have an imposter. Where's he at? Where's he at? There's he at. You little jabroni. He's even got he just did it too because he screenshot it while I'm streaming. So he's got the little purple streaming thing on there. Get out of here. Make sure I'm not banning myself. Hold on. He's got even me confused. All right, ban. I wish I could put a spicy note in there for him. All right, he's gone. My bad. Stream ends out of nowhere. Yeah, got him. That's never happened before. That's never happened. He literally screenshotted my logo with the purple streaming icon on it. So I was like, oh, that's obviously not me. On Instagram, yeah, but not on the Discord. All right, so we got some red down at R2 here. I love it. I'm with Jabroni. I love it. There will be shirts. There will be shirts included in the price of the conference. So I just don't know what the shirts will be. There has to be an option millionaire Jabroni squad. I'll do it. It is about time. It is about time to start planning, for sure. I was discussing this with my wife this weekend on what are we going to do, how are we going to do it. Is it going to be like a formal, like I'm going to show up in a suit and tie and we're going to kind of go over stuff? And I was like, no, it's got to be more fun. So more informal, have some fun, go out and have some fun, and then do some trading together. Show up in a flight suit. Yeah, there's no way I'm doing formal. Last time I wore a suit was for my wedding, or for the renewing my vows, I should say. Oh yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, that's something we haven't talked about in a while. But yeah, and I in fact am a pilot. So yeah, we could do some sort of pilot themed. I could like little pilot cupcakes, aviators, good stuff. I could even run out a hangar at an airport. We could all wear jeans and then like no shirt and then dog tags because apparently that's what pilots play volleyball in the middle of the summer is jeans with their dog tags. Speaking of wife, would love to bring mine to the meetup. Are we going to allow put plus ones? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. My wife will be with me, so yeah, bring your consider your holy crap significant others. There you go. There's a guy called Top Gun Options. He's also a pilot, but he's completely insufferable. He's a fighter pilot. Yeah, those fighter pilots. I'm sure the guy that I booted a couple of weeks ago thinks I'm insufferable. So to each his own. To each his own. Are we seeing any potential trades? Right now, I'm just hanging out. To me, we're just kind of hanging out here at R2. I've already got 3 plays under my belt. I'm not looking to take much else here to see unless I get some sort of a trend here. I'm not married. I'll be at a gentleman's club for half the trip. I will not be joining on that one, Chris. Reasonable other. You could bring reasonable others. Unless they're unreasonable, then they can wait outside. Nope, I'm reading YouTube chat. What indicator do you use to draw out the initial balance? What do you mean? Where is the meetup and when? Right now, Vegas is the front runner. I don't know when. I'm probably thinking somewhere in the September October time frame if I had to guess, but that is not even close to being planned yet. That's what I'm thinking. I took a poll last week. I think 100 people said they would actually come. That'd be incredible. Even if it's like 50, I think it'd be really cool to put some faces with some names and meet some people, have some fun, like-minded individuals. The yellow line that the draw, okay, that is our session range. I'm not going to go into too many details about that because that is part of the tier 4, but it's a high and low of the morning. All right, I'm going to give this till 11:30 Eastern. I'm going to hop off just because I want to be able to hang out to go study this book map. Not to mention I got a few more things to edit on this YouTube video, get that posted, answer a bunch of DMs, and really start doing some admin work stuff here. So it looks like we are getting a little bit of selling action here. VIX is starting to come up just a touch. We'll see if that plays out or if we just continue to buy up and go higher. So I've got 3 plays on the day, 4 if you include the spread that I posted in OM Theta. If you are part of Tier 2, head over to OM Theta and take a look. Let me know if you have any questions about that as well. And until then, I'm just kind of sitting on my hands. If my wife and I get to come, we want to renew our vows with Elvis. If you do that, I want it all to be there, Trader Ned. We'll have our OM wedding. In fact, you know what? I will get ordained, and we'll do it at the OM conference. How about that? I'll renew your vows at the OM conference. I'll do it. I'll even dress up as Elvis. How about that? I will dress up as Elvis. Oh, I didn't just pass out. That was my version of a Elvis impression. Yeah, we just can't do it during trading hours because I'll have to pause to trade. Yeah, we do have pastors in here. Yeah, and in seriousness, we do have some good pastors in here. You thought that was a Yogi Bear impression? Yeah, like crazy. Trader Ned's ordained. Okay, okay. All right, VIX is coming up here on all seriousness, and we do have some red. Yeah, so. You ever tried Bookmap before, sir? I'm trading it now. I don't. It looks like you missed that conversation, but I'm looking at actually teaming up with Bookmap. They reached out to me last week for a partnership, and right now I'm testing the software. And he said basically, here, test the software. Tell me what you think, and if you like it, we'll talk about some details. So we'll see. We'll see. I really like it so far. It's just, I am not a technically savvy guy, so it's going to take me a few days to figure out how to add SPY or how to add ES. So if you have any pointers on Bookmap, shoot me a DM, and I'll see if I can implement them. But until then, I'll be watching some how-to videos on YouTube on that they've offered me, and digging in, get my hands dirty. Thanks, Ethan. Appreciate it. Are you in the Discord? If you are, shoot me a DM. Help me out. Yeah, I saw that. They're looking at that Zelensky will be addressing the Congress over the web. If you're on the server, in the Discord server, just click on my name and shoot me a DM there, or you could shoot me an email, optionsmillionaire2020 at gmail.com if you're not in the Discord. However, if you're not, highly encourage you to come over and take a look. Would this be something a beginner should worry about learning? It depends how beginner. And obviously, I'll be able to talk more about it as I dig into it, because obviously, if I end up not liking it, I'm not going to recommend it, but we'll see. I do like the idea of being able to monitor liquidity in different levels on a live updating basis. That kind of ties in perfectly to my nature of being a volume-based trader. I also had IBKR reach out to me for a partnership, but he hasn't responded to my email again. He reached out and I responded, and that was it. So we'll see if that'll come to fruition. I'd love to work with IBKR. Yeah, that's what he told me, and he did tell me that if you're using SPY with Bookmap, that it's hard because there's liquidity everywhere. So you have to really scale out, look at the bigger orders, the bigger liquidity on a longer time frame to really figure out the big pivots on SPY. So it's not like single stock. Yes, it is. Hold my beer. Yes, it is. You're welcome. You're welcome. How often do you take profits out of your account, and do you have another source of income? I take my profits, historically, I take them out quarterly. I'll skim profits quarterly, and I'll adjust them into other investment accounts. I currently have 4 brokerage accounts. 3 of them are now switched over to IBKR. 1 is here on E-Trade, uh, just because I wanted to put all my stuff into IBKR. 12:30 Eastern Time. 12:30. LFG, would it be possible to clarify your plays a little more when you call one for us newbies? I asked because you kind of talk a little fast. I only captured the first play of the day and did. Nope. The first 2 were pre-market, like early or morning in the hours. So yeah, I've only taken 1 play today, which you seem to have caught. So that's it. That's it. But yeah, absolutely. I do talk fast. I know I talk fast. I've been told my whole life I talk fast. When I first became a pilot, I'm not sure if I've talked about that before, that I'm actually a pilot. When I went through training, they told me to slow down because I was talking too fast on the radios and the controller couldn't hear me. He's like, say again, Tiger 5-3. So, but yeah, I will slow it down. I can't believe it took this long to get the. See, that's the thing. I am a bit of a jokester, and if you poke the bear, I'm gonna turn around on you. So I didn't talk about being a pilot at all until this guy made a comment. Now it's like, all right, that's just who I am. I'm a bit of a jokester. Did you ever get told you talk too loud on the radio? Negative. Never had that. Oh, thanks, Ethan. Good stuff. All right, so we are steadily just kind of trickling off here. 424.60 to 422.20. VIX is kind of bouncing here, and we'll see how this starts to play out. Looks a little interesting. Interesteroni. 4150 largest liquidity for the day according to Bookmap. Look out below. Yes, I would love that. I'm actually hoping for some big downward action. I want to go ahead and just pull the rug out, flush the markets, and let's just talk about something different. That's what I'm kind of looking forward to. It's like right now everyone's in pins and needles. We're tightly wedged here on the market, and let's make a big move. Let's just do it. Get it over with. By the way, my next appointment has been set for my dental procedure, so there will be a day or 2 coming up here in the next 3 weeks where I'll be high. So if I do come on after I tell you don't listen to me, and I'm like, we're going to take calls here, don't listen to me. But I'll give you the right day. Although last time I did that, I had a pretty good day. I think it just kind of relaxed me. Nice, 3,800 and done. Nice, Fukel. Yeah, plus it's Mopex. We're not talking about that this week. So we do have some expirations coming up. Yeah, we've been tight. We've been tight. Just emailed me the bookmap. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. I'll take a look once I hop off here. Lost $150 in a call credit spread. Now when SPY hit new highs, I got into a higher CCS and made 250, so let's hope it stays flat down. Nice. All right, it is 10:30, 11:30 Eastern. I'm going to go ahead and call that a morning. I've got a few things I need to be finishing up here. We've had a bit of a push and a pull market. Big downside followed by a little climb, and now we're just kind of trickling off a little bit here. VIX is popping up. So I highly encourage you all to maintain small position sizes, take profits quickly until we get a good break in the action. There's some data that's showing we could blast below the mid 4100s. Obviously, that's not what we saw this morning. We'll see if it starts to play out. So just make sure that you are maintaining small position sizes and playing with risk mitigation in mind until we get a good break. If we get the downside, we'll short it into the ground. It's all right. So if you have any questions about anything, shoot me a DM. You can email me optionsmillionaire2020@gmail.com or post them in the rooms so other people can see the answers. If you are Tier 4, Vet is about to sign on to the Patreon stage or the Tier 4 stages to answer some questions about the upcoming week and his thesis on what the day is looking like. So head over there after we're done here. If you're not Tier 4 and you have any questions about it, let us know. We'll be happy to answer them. Once again, be on the lookout this week for some announcements on the changes coming to the server on April 1st. So thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you're able to make a little money or answer a little questions or have a little fun if you want. I'll be here bright and early in the morning and then a little later on tonight if we get some volatility. I'm out. See ya.